Sad day.
Good evening, everyone. It is 5 p.m. on January 6, 2025. Thanks for joining us for the organizational school board meeting. Everyone is here this evening. Oh, we're starting, by the way. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we've officially called to order the meeting. For those of you that know, every year we have our organizational board meeting. So that is where our cabinet is elected and nominations are taken. So for the organization of the board, any member of the board may nominate any other board member, including themselves. Nominations do not require a second. All positions require 3 calls for nominations before closing out the nomination process. If a single nomination is made, the board chair will announce election by acclamation. If there are multiple nominations, a vote is required. Are there any questions? Okay, at this time, I'll open the floor for nominations for the position of chairperson.
I nominate Jamie Sieben.
Board member Melissa Curtis nominates Jamie Sieben. Are there any other nominations? Any additional nominations? If there are no further nominations, nominations are closed. Jamie Sieben is the only candidate nominated for the office of chairperson, and I hereby declare her elected by acclamation and direct the acting clerk to so record in the minutes.
Congratulations.
Oh, goodness. I was really waiting for someone else to pipe up. But
No.
He would have denied.
Yep. Oh, do we have to go back through that and do all that again? Okay. We do need an approval of tonight's agenda.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Casey Root, seconded by Jeff Hegle. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Motion passes 6-0. Thank you, Devaney. I appreciate that. And do we have to do it again? Are we good? Okay. All right, now we will move on.
Just for fun.
I know. We get to do it a couple more times. So at this time, I'll open the floor for nominations for the position of vice chair and treasurer.
I nominate Casey Root.
Board member Jeff Hegle nominates Casey Root. Are there any other nominations? Any additional nominations? If there are no further nominations, the nominations are now closed. Casey Root is the only candidate nominated for the office of Vice Chair Treasurer, and I hereby declare him elected by acclamation and direct the acting clerk to so record in the minutes. Congratulations, Casey.
Good job, Casey.
All right, now at this time, I'll open the floor for nominations for the position of clerk.
Nominate Melissa Curtis.
Board member Casey Root nominates Melissa Curtis. Are there any other nominations? Any additional nominations? If there are no further nominations, the nominations are now closed. Melissa Curtis is the only candidate nominated for the office of clerk, and I hereby declare her elected by acclamation and direct the acting clerk to so record in the minutes. Congratulations. All right, next item on the agenda is action to appoint the superintendent to the board as a non-voting ex officio member. This is an action item.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Jeff Hegle, seconded by Melissa Curtis. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Motion passes 6-0. On to the designation of the official newspaper of our school district, number 882, as the Monticello Times. This is an action item.
So moved.
Moved by Mary Barthel, seconded by Jeff Hegle. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Motion passes 6-0. Now we are on to the designation of the school board committee assignments. This is something that was already predetermined and is on the link that's provided in the agenda. If there are no questions, this is an action item.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Curtis, seconded by Mark Branson. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Motion passes 6-0. On to item G. This is the designation of official district depositories. This is an action item.
Second.
Moved by Jeff Hegle, seconded by Casey Root. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, please say no. Motion passes 6-0. On to item H, establish school board meeting structure for the regular Monticello school board meetings to take place on the third Monday of each month at 6 p.m. The first Monday of each month is a regular school board meeting beginning at 5 p.m. These meetings will typically be followed by a work session. In the event that a work session or a regular school board meeting is canceled due to unseen circumstances, like weather, the meeting will be rescheduled for the following day at the same time. This is an action item.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mark Branson, seconded by Jeff Hegle. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Motion passes 6-0. On to item I, motion to participate in federally funded programs. This is an action item.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Jeff Hegle, seconded by Mary Barthel. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Motion passes 6-0. On to item J, legal counsel and authorized contracts. Legal counsel of Squires, Walsberger, and Mace is our attorneys on file. This is an action item.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mark Branson, seconded by Casey Root. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Motion passes 6-0. On to item K. School district authorized contracts for legal counsel. Eric Olson, Superintendent. Tina Burkholder, Director of Business Services. Rob Danaker, Human Resources Director, School Board Chair, and John Weekly, Director of Special Education. This is an action item.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mary Barthel, seconded by Casey Root. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Motion passes 6-0. Designation of authorized personnel to enter into signed contractual agreements with our district. Eric Olson, Superintendent. Tina Burkholder, Director of Business Services, and Rob Danaker, Human Resource Director. This is an action item.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Mark Branson, seconded by Casey Root. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Motion passes 6-0. Designation of authorized signatures to be accepted by the official depositories, chairperson, vice chair and treasurer, secretary clerk, Tina Burkholder, our Director of Business Services, Amy Stahlbeck, controller, and Cindy Brenny, accountant. This is an action item.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Casey Root, seconded by Mark Branson. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Motion passes 6-0. On to item N, designation of authorized personnel to make electronic wire transfers. Eric Olson, Superintendent. Tina Burkholder, Director of Business Services. Zach Harry, HR Manager. Tom Kickhaffer, Payroll Specialist. And Amy Stahlbeck, Controller. This is an action item.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Jeff Hegle, seconded by Casey Root. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Motion passes 6-0. On to item O. This is a resolution to approve annual designation of identified official with authority for MDE external user access recertification system. This is an action item that I believe needs to be read. Is that correct, Devaney? Okay, this is an action item as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Jeff Hegle, seconded by Casey Root. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Motion passes 6-0. On to item P. This is a resolution directing the administration to make recommendations regarding the reduction and/or discontinuance of programs and positions and reasons therefor pursuant to Minnesota Statute 122A.40. This is an action item as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Casey Root, seconded by Jeff Hegle. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Motion passes 6-0. On to item Q. This is another resolution establishing combined polling places for a special school board election not held on the same day as a statewide election as presented. This is an action item.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Jeff Hegle, seconded by Casey Root. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Motion passes 6-0. On to the designation of Miss Devaney Moore, our communications specialist and school board liaison, who's been typing feverishly throughout this process, as our official parliamentarian for the Monticello School Board. This is an action item.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Mary Barthel, seconded by Mark Branson. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Motion passes 6-0. Oh my goodness, that might be record time. Nice job, everyone. We are adjourning the organizational meeting at 5:12 p.m. The organizational meeting will be followed by a regular school board meeting immediately following. So we will move along right to that. All right, I'd like to call to order the regular school board meeting of Independent School District number 882. It is 5:12 p.m. I'm looking for, we are going to stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance again, I believe. So please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, and now we're looking for approval of tonight's agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Melissa Curtis, seconded by Casey Root. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Motion passes 6-0. Next item is citizen comments, and we do not have any citizen comments this evening. Next on the agenda is fiscal stability. Looking for approval of our consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Melissa Curtis, seconded by Casey Root. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Motion passes 6-0. On to collaborative connections. We're going to pass it off to Superintendent Eric Olson to go over the acceptance of gifts.
Right, we have some amazing gifts that have come forward for our school district, and they are the following: West Metro Buick GMC, $2,000, Rally to Read. Shout out to Miss Courteau, as she's been working with them, as she's been doing some of her superintendent hours. So thanks for working with them and bringing a huge donation in for our Rally to Read literacy program. UMC, $1,500 for the Monty Python's robotics team. Just a reminder, robotics are off and running. They have two events coming up, one in March and one in April. Wright County United Way, $8,000 for the mindfulness program. And Wright County United Way, $5,000 for students in need. So longstanding relationships with the United Way here in Monticello. And Sarah Welk does a beautiful job of bringing those to fruition for our buildings to be able to use for students who need assistance. And that's what I'm bringing forward, and I'll pass off to you for the resolution and any other comments from Chair Sieben, but thank you to these beautiful gifts for our students to to be used to access and bring their programming further.
Therefore be resolved by the Monticello School Board number 882 to gratefully accept the following donations. West Metro Buick GMC $2,000 for the Rally to Read program, UMC $1,500 for Monty Python's robotics team, Wright County United Way $8,000 for mindfulness program, and Wright County United Way $5,000 for students in need.
Second.
It's moved by Jeff Hegle, seconded by Mark Branson. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Motion passes 6-0. And I just got to say, that's $16,500 right there given by our community and people investing back into our students and education and taking care of them, from the mindfulness program to making sure they have books at home to expanding our offerings with our robotics team. I mean, this is absolutely incredible, and I just want to personally thank our Wright County as well as these two companies for continuing to invest into our students and give back to our school and investing into our community, really. So this is unbelievable. Thank you. All right, next on to item number 6, safe and healthy culture. Item A, ratifying resolution. This will be an action item, but help me welcome to the podium Director of Business Services, Tina Burkholder, and Beth Downs from Ellers. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm just going to be up here briefly. As you recall, in October, we brought forward a possible opportunity for the school district to refund one of their bonds, to compare it to your home. You refinance your home mortgage, so that is something that we're trying to do with this bond refunding. We work with our financial advisors, Ellers, to work through this process, and I'm going to pass it over to Beth.
Thanks, Tina. Thanks for having me tonight. I'm super excited. We got really good results from last week's bond sale. So do we have the report that maybe we can just, the informational report to pull up? Yeah, thank you. So we'll just jump to that first page of the competitive sale results. So we got 14 bids last week. We like to see at least 3. So this is really, really great. A lot of interest in investing in the school district, which is great. So we are refunding not the entire 2016 bonds, but a portion of them. So kind of like we're talking about refinancing a home mortgage, but when you have bonds like this, each separate maturity is its own investment, essentially. And so we can take a portion of the bond and refund it and leave the other outstanding maturity. So we are refunding 2027 through 2034, which means there are a couple years afterwards that had a little bit lower interest rates, and so it wasn't as advantageous to refund those, and so we're just doing that first portion. But we had pre-sale estimates before we went out to market of about 2.98% for interest cost, and we came in at 2.45. And part of this is because the underwriter that bid on the bonds gave you a premium, which is a price greater than the bond. So we used a portion of that premium to actually decrease the amount of bond you're issuing. So we had $12.7 million in pre-sale, and we're down to $12.46. So that part is really good. And what that means in kind of overall terms is that we had predicted savings of about $125,000 over those maturities, and instead we're at about $490,000. So really, really good results last week. We were really, really excited about that. So the next couple of pages in the report are the bid tabulations. So you can see where all those bids came in at. We have the old debt and what the new debt looks like, but I just want to jump to the comparison page, which is attachments page 7. And this is small, but if you can read it, I think we're at next page, page 7 of the attachments. You might have to go a little bit farther to get, it says debt service comparison on the top. I know these schedules all look the same. Sorry, guys. Financing is really fun, as Tina knows. Okay, debt service comparison. So this page shows the old debt service, the new debt service, and those savings. So you'll see those maturities that we did refund on the right side there. You'll see those savings. The maturities that are still outstanding from the original debt, they're all at a net change of 0. But essentially what's happening is we're taking some of that principal that was going to be paid off in later years and moving it up front and giving us a better step down in later years. So the next page is a graph that shows this, and it can be a little bit easier to kind of see. So the left side there is the tax rate for your capital and your debt service levies. Those red bars represent the debt that we moved from later years up into the front. So you've got a nice even tax rate through 2031, and then we've got a pretty large dip coming in taxes payable 2032. So we've got some ability when we get to that place to think about other projects that might need to be done and options where you can possibly do things that are tax neutral for your community, which is a really nice way to upkeep your buildings and also keep that tax rate consistent for your property owners. So really helpful. And as we're kind of looking at the refundings, this is something that we do as your municipal advisors about 4 times a year. We're checking to see what kind of interest rates you have outstanding, what the market is looking like, and what we can do for you as far as refunding, and even as far as just picking out specific maturities like we did in this one. So lots of analysis for you. The last part of the attachment is your credit opinion from Moody's, and so they do a rating for you every time we issue debt, essentially, to just talk about the risk factor for any investors that would be investing in your bonds. And so you're affirmed at an A1 rating, which is it's a marketable rating. It's what we see for a lot of school districts in kind of this more central Minnesota area, and definitely a reflection of both Eric and Tina and how well they help manage the district and your school board as well, and especially Tina, who I have worked with for too long. So I know you're in really good hands with her, and we just really appreciate working with all of you at the district, and really appreciate the ability to partner on these things with you and be able to share really good news tonight. So all of my information is just informational, and you should have a resolution as an action item for the ratifying the award of the sale.
Well, it sounds like really good news. We are $365,000 ahead of where we thought we were going to be. And my question is, how can we return it to the taxpayers that passed an incredible levy for us, and we levied to the max against their property last month? So I'm thinking next year, truth in taxation, we back it down $365,000, return this money to the taxpayers.
I mean, I'll just, say that I think that's always a good goal, but I also know that we don't know where we're going to be at with a lot of the last revenue sources coming in. We know that I was just at a legislative meeting today, and there's a guarantee out there that we're actually going to go backwards from the second biennium in our financial state here in Minnesota. Programs like ADSIS, programs like compensatory, we don't know how they're coming in. And right now, the federal government and some of the pieces that are coming with a potential shutdown coming, there are some huge revenue sources that we don't have in our account yet, and that's what I would be worried about. I think it's a great goal, and it's the goal that I hope that at some point boards can achieve, especially here in Monticello. But I also know that you don't want to go backwards, and until we have all those pieces of the puzzle to say that we're going to do it. I know it's not what you intended, Mark, but I do think we need to also have that conversation to make sure that people, the public, know that we don't have all of our pieces. If we're going to go back further than what the state gave us for the second biennium, and that's a guaranteed in some of the things that they're seeing that are going to come out of this year's legislation. I just would be really scared to put too much hope in that it's going to be done, because we could be. I just heard today that the probability of in fall of 2026, the number of school districts going out for an operating levy is going to be astronomical because of this factor of not being able to support what both between the federal government and state government insured, and now with the different pieces not coming into play, we're going to be in I think school districts are going to be in tough shape.
So can I make a clarifying point point for you. So this, the levies that we are talking about are specifically for debt service, and so you can't transfer anything that would be part of this because it's going to pay off your debt. You can't transfer any of that over into like operations. So it's not going to affect your general fund or operations. It's just debt service. And if you look, the savings in the tax rate comes in 2032. So if you look on that chart, that gray bar that's coming down, so we're 4.5% roughly coming down to just over 3% there when we get to 2032. So they are separate when you talk about your operating levy versus your debt service. Your debt service is really paying off your buildings and your capital investments.
So did I hear you correctly? Our taxpayers will see this savings.
In 2032, yeah, because we're really keeping tax rates level until that point, and then that's where the drop is happening.
That's what I understood, that it was going back to our taxpayers, so that in conjunction with like our levy that we pass for operating, correct? They're two separate things.
Correct.
But the taxpayers are being positively impacted by what you guys were just able to do
Yeah, so what
further
we're
down the road.
Yeah, so what we're doing, so if you see in the gray bars, the existing debt, there was just these kind of little pieces year over year that were pretty small, and instead of doing it that way, we're making it really level until 2032 and then having a big drop come in at that point.
Right, any other questions or comments? All right, this is an action item.
To approve resolution ratifying the issuance and sale of general obligation school building refunding bond series 2026A.
Second.
Motion by Jeff Hegle, seconded by Casey Root. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Motion passes 6-0. And I just want to personally thank you, ladies. I mean, going from the anticipated 120 to 490,000 is a significant difference. And if you guys weren't on top of your game and really good at what you do, that wouldn't have happened. So thank you. Our taxpayers should be thanking you. This was a huge win for the district as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now we're on to item B, first reading of policies with Director of Human Resources, Rob Daniker.
Thank you, Chair Sieben, members of the board, Superintendent Olson. Before I dive into Policy 613, just for transparency, the Policy Committee met for our monthly meeting today. We did more than consider just one policy. So we have a list of policies that are required for annual review by the board. And those policies are 410, 413, 414, 415, 506, 514, 522, 524, 616, and 806. The board, the members of the committee, including the board members, reviewed all of those policies. There were no proposed amendments or changes to those policies, so they're not up for first read tonight. However, they will be, the current incarnation of those will be noted in the policy files hosted on the website as having been reviewed this evening. There's also an additional policy that requires review every other year. That's policy 104. That was not on the docket this evening, and so that one will be reviewed next January, starting there. All right, so the only policy for first read tonight is not one of those that requires annual review. This was one that has been under review and subject to modification for some time now. And this is Policy 613 is graduation requirements. The purpose of this policy is to set forth requirements for graduation from the Monticello Public School District. The committee reviewed proposed changes as informed by the co-high school principals, Principal Colwell, Principal Hanson, along with our Director of Teaching and Learning, Director Stebner. And really the substantive changes that are being proposed in 613 have to do with the ongoing transition from semesters to trimesters. The high school is in the second year of moving towards trimesters, or of living in trimesters, I should say. And so the modifications that are in 613 reflect that. There were some minor formatting changes and also some addition of some Arabic numbers for readability as well. Any questions from any of the board members regarding 613? Okay, and again, this is for first read tonight, so no action required.
Any questions? Nope, and I just want to give kudos to the policy committee and Director Daniker. Since he's been here, he's done a really great job of creating structure on getting us all caught up as a school district on reviewing policies and getting them all updated. And so we are ahead of schedule, which is fantastic. It's a pretty cool thing to see, and a lot of hard work's gone into that. And so appreciate your hard work and that of the policy committee for getting those policies updated and putting a lot of time into reading. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
All right, now we are to item number 7, which is adjournment of our regular school board meeting at 5:31 p.m. The regular school board meeting in Monticello will be followed by a closed session pursuant to section 13D.05 subdivision 3A to evaluate the performance of the school district superintendent for mid-year review. A summary of the closed session will be provided at the January 26, 2026 regular meeting. We are now adjourned.